Hi, I'm Hanna.
And I'm Matt Hanna.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannas.
Where we talk about some silly animal movies.
Shut the fuck up.
Or creature features, whatever we want to call these.
That's the name, yes. In the wise words of Bodies, 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 though, today's episode is about hanging out with your smartest and funniest friends. And we are joined by our friend Anna. Hello.
Hello.
We are very excited to have you back. You've been on some odd episodes, including Twilight, so we figured it would be
a great episode.
Ton of fun to have you back on for a movie equally as goofy.
Yeah, thrilled to be back on to continue my discussion of true cinema.
Yes. One day we'll have you on for like a legitimate piece of art, but today is not that day because we are talking about Piranha 3D.
Don't talk shit.
Luckily,
on
not
like
Piranha
that.
3 Double D.
Oh my god, I actually don't have energy for.
It's very possible that's the version you watched. I have no clue.
No, we watched 3D.
No, the 3 Double D is like the water park one.
It's a sequel to 3D.
Danielle Panabaker.
I had no idea it was a sequel. I thought it was just the unrated version.
No.
And I thought they just called it that. That's funny.
That actually would be really
sequel?
funny. Yes, it did.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
The sequel, no, it's so awful. The first one, it doesn't really capture the same.
Wait, so after watching this for the first time, yesterday or the day before, you then sat down and watched the sequel?
It auto-played on like Pluto or whatever free streaming thing I was on. So I was like, you know what? All right. And then it wasn't as good, but
yeah, I've heard
there
that.
was another Christopher Lloyd cameo.
Fuck yeah.
Ving Rhames comes back. He has a whole thing about how he's not scared of some bitch-ass water.
Isn't Ving Rhames dead in this one? I really
so
thought
apparently
that man died.
the fish ate his legs and not the rest of him. It also is like you think he died in the first one because he probably was planned to be, but then they made another one and he was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll be in it." And the like cameraman guy whose name I can't remember is also in it. He pushes his wheelchair. And still has the zinc on his nose.
Wait, you're telling me the guy? Oh yeah, I guess we thought. You're talking about what's his name? Jerry O'Connell? No, wait.
No.
The
other guy.
Yeah, the other guy that I think doesn't even have a name.
You're right. Okay. I follow.
Yeah, but like the actor is in stuff. What is his name?
I have it in my notes when we get to plot description.
I never retained that guy's anything.
Paul Scheer.
There we go, Paul Scheer.
Thank you.
He's
for
in
filling
like
us
some
in.
stuff.
Yeah,
he's in The League. That's I was going to say. I knew him from something. Yeah.
Well, Hannah, give us some background about this movie.
Yes, it's a 2010 film, and it is a remake of the 1978 film Piranha,
I did not know that.
Yeah, it did not do super well critically. Actually, Piranha 3D critically did better, but they're both like genre the same. Like comedy horror. Piranha 3D is directed by Alexandre Aja. I think that's how to pronounce it. Win.
Or is it Aha?
Aha!
Yeah, who's to say, really?
Jay sometimes makes an H.
And this is definitely a person whose name, I should have looked up because he's done other notable things, like Crawl, The Hills Have Eyes, 2006.
Big Crawl fan. Okay, so he's made 2 remakes and then Crawl.
And High
I've not
Tension.
seen Crawl, but I have seen The Hills Have Eyes, and that was actually pretty good.
The remake specifically, or the original? Okay.
Yeah, the remake.
I don't know if I've seen either.
I think I might have watched both. I now can't remember, but it was fun.
If you guys have heard of the famous High Tension, the French horror film, it's kind of controversial because it has this twist that people hate. I watched it in film class actually in college.
Something
Funny
maybe
enough.
I would like.
But he is responsible for that movie, which is kind of cool.
All right.
It's written by Pete Goldfinger and Josh Stolberg, and it stars Elizabeth Shue, Adam Scott, Jerry O'Connell, Ving Rhames, Christopher Lloyd, and Richard Dreyfuss.
The funniest thing about this one is Elizabeth Shue. I was looking at her and I'm like, where do I know her from? And then I realized that she's Madeline from The Boys. Right?
Mm-hmm. I had the same realization. I was like, I know her. Why do I also know what her tits look like?
Wow.
Well, we saw what's his name?
I know.
Breastfeed from her.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and then he used heat vision to melt her face. So
beautiful. What a beautiful
Shockingly,
end to
no
it.
breastfeeding in this movie. Although I guess most of them were fake, so.
Yes, yeah, it would be difficult.
I do think this movie, I wouldn't be surprised had breastfeeding shown up somehow, to be fair.
Right? Yeah.
Or at least some sort of breast licking. Really would have been like completely unsurprising.
There was a motorboat.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, they got close. But the cast, obviously, beyond that, is also very funny. We have fucking Richard Dreyfuss.
Who shows up for a second at the beginning.
In the intro. He said he only accepted the role because they offered him a higher salary. Like, they just kept upping the salary amount, and he was finally like, okay,
What'll
fine.
it take? We're gonna get you.
Yeah. He actually donated his salary to charity, so it wasn't entirely selfish.
He is a cool person.
Yeah. And I think it's cool that he did this, especially because his character really just is entirely Matt Hooper. Like, he is a parody of his character
He's
from
wearing the
Jaws.
same outfit.
Yeah.
Yes.
His name is Matt Boyd in this. Like,
yeah, like they have the same first name. He's singing Show Me the Way to Go Home from Jaws. So, yeah. And he only worked for 2 days, and he, I believe, was the highest paid. Him and Christopher Lloyd were the two highest paid actors, and he worked for 2 days, and Christopher Lloyd worked 1.
They did something else interesting in the scene with him where it seemed like they used like old special effects, and I was assuming that they used the same type of effects that they did in the original movie.
And are you referring to the all red underwater?
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I always just guessed that. I never looked it up.
I didn't either.
Oh, well, it looks.
I think
it's
we
like very
assume
different.
that you're right.
Yeah, we can just we'll just go with it. I mean, why else would they do the effects that way?
I know, because like when they're not doing that, things look considerably better. So it is a choice. But if it's a callback to the original, then I'm cool with it. I guess.
Well, the world will never know because I'm not looking it up because I don't think anyone cares about Piranha 3D that much. So this is just a rumor I've made up, and everyone can go with it.
Slut. Well, this movie did have some considerable filming delays. They were supposed to start shooting, but then the studio wanted it ready for summer, but then they were like, we have 1,000 people who need to get murdered in water, and we have to have the water the right temperature for filming and the right weather for filming, and we are filming on site in Arizona where the movie is set. Like, we have some issues that we just simply can't work around. So this movie did come out later than anticipated. I don't believe it had the summer release that it wanted, but alas, we got it anyway. They also had constraints filming with 3D camera rigs in the water. So it was actually shot in 2D and then converted to 3D in post. But
and you can tell because this is that classic bad 3D. Like there's two different types of 3D, or at least there were back in the day. There was stuff like that Godzilla movie with Bryan Cranston that was shot for 3D, and then there's like Spy Kids 3D where it's very clearly like added later, where it's just like the weird pops that they throw at you. Dude.
Love Spy Kids, just like the metal arm reaching out at you.
Oh, it's great. Or Avatar's a better example than Godzilla. Avatar is like shot for 3D.
Well, interestingly, this is one of the first converted to 3D projects that was well received by critics. Because it wasn't done as an afterthought. Like, it was intended to be 3D, and a lot of them that get converted aren't intended that way. My
question, though, is maybe I'm lying about Spy Kids 3D. Spy Kids 3D has, or even Saw 7, have the look of being converted, not shot for. But everyone talked about, Spy Kids 3D, Game Over, is in the name. Okay. Or is it Spy Kids 3D? I don't even know.
I don't know what the fuck, because that's not my fave. The first two are the loves of my life, and the third one I've blacked out mostly, besides that fucking...
Sylvester Stallone is in it?
No, I was going to say the
His
guy
grandpa learns to walk again?
Yes,
George
I remember
Lopez
the grandpa learning to walk with the butterfly.
George Lopez is in that movie?
Yeah, in a very small cameo as like the bad guy. Or one of the bad guys.
You're making something.
Am I not thinking of Shark Boy and Lava Girl where that happens?
Yeah, you're thinking of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Same director, right?
Oh no.
I was about to say, he is not in
Lava Girl.
Did I really?
Oh, you're so right. No, wait.
He's Mr. Electro.
No.
Yeah, that's Mr. Electro. Hannah's looking up a photo.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it's because it's the same director.
That's for sure Shark Boy.
It's Robert Rodriguez, right? Or who? Now I feel crazy. Who directed Spy Kids?
Who cares?
No, this is important. Look it up.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
No, I actually really need to know who's directed Spy Kids.
Look it the fuck up. It's not my job.
You have it up right now.
I don't
I
have
it
it
was Robert
up.
Rodriguez.
All I have up is George Lopez Spy Kids.
The reason this is a big deal is because the guy who directed Spy Kids directed From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, I know that.
That was my point. Yeah, it's Robert Rodriguez. I was right.
How is that relevant to what we're talking about, though?
Because it's a horror movie.
Okay, sure. Okay, well, obviously this is a summer movie, hence why we're covering it in the summer and why this actually even made our cut whatsoever. So we had actually asked our followers what horror movies remind you the most of summer, and I wanted to share some of our followers' answers, and we can share some of our answers. Believing the Bazaar said Friday the 13th. Movies in Us Pot said Midsummer. Philip Marinello said The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Paranormal in Pennsylvania said Midsummer. Kay Scanlon 653 said a bunch of different things, including The Bay, Jaws, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, Sleepaway Camp, Wrong Turn, and Lake Placid. A very solid list. We had Ethan, who also said Midsummer. Spooky Sips Podcast, who also said Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's Sarah Time that said Children of the Corn. Watch This Film Blog said Jaws, Rubber, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil are some of the big three that come to mind. They've all got big summer vibes in my mind. Based on a Book Podcast said The Mist, for sure, at least for the first bit. And Movie Postmortem Podcast said It Follows, maybe because there are multiple beach scenes.
I got a couple. I got one that wasn't said.
I have one that wasn't said, too.
Right,
Me too.
I'm going to say mine first.
If you copy mine, I'll kill you.
Mine was Scream. Is that what you were going to say?
No, it wasn't.
Scream feels like school's about to be out. They closed it down. I've always said that feels like a summer movie to me.
It feels
I
like
get that.
a Halloween movie to me, but that's because it's Scream.
Yeah, well, what do you got, Anna?
I was going to say The Cabin in the Woods.
That's a good pick, and I think coincidentally also any of the Evil Dead movies, considering they're inspired by, or vice versa. I mean.
My answer was Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Hurricane Season,
That's a good one.
which is actually fall. Did
Yeah, I know. Hurricane Season is fall, so it's maybe not the best pick, but the vibes are so summer. Pool parties, fucking around with your friends.
Companion.
That is summer vibes too. I could see that.
I blacked that movie entirely out after seeing it.
I liked it.
Matt hated it.
It's really just like anyone that takes place in a cabin in the woods, which obviously The Cabin in the Woods, but there are a lot in that genre that are summery because cabins.
Really anything at like a vacation spot. I'm like, you're on vacay? It must be summer.
It has to be summer. People don't vacation other times of the year. Everyone knows that.
Not. Yes. Well, this movie, back on topic. No one said it, but I said it in my heart, and that's why we're doing it. Anna, before watching this, did you have any expectations? Because you were the only one who was new to this movie.
I think in my head I was picturing The Meg because they have very similar posters, I feel like. Which obviously was not. There's no Jason Statham, first of all, and it takes itself less seriously, I would say. But otherwise, very gory, lots of naked. Actually, I guess I didn't really know anything about the plot, including that there was like some pornography involved, or a lot of it, actually. So that was a little bit of a shock when that first started. It made sense, like, with the rest of the movie and like the Girls Gone Wild kind of a thing, but was not where I was expecting it to go, to be entirely honest.
How did you feel when that is what happened?
You know, again, it's not I wouldn't call it a good movie, but it was a fun movie. And also, like, everybody in it was hot, so, like, you know, that's always good too.
That
is a good point, including Jerry O'Connor.
I love Jerry O'Connor.
His little Speedo.
I love it. It's so good.
Was my favorite part of this movie by a long shot. But I get to that later.
I feel like he has to be, yeah.
Yeah, I really do love that man in this role. I think it's hilarious. But alas, we're not there yet, as Matt said. Matt, did you have any expectations the first time you saw it? Or
this is only the second time I've watched it. The first time I watched it, you made me watch it. And I mean, I don't think I particularly liked it then. I understand what it's going for, and there are like points that I enjoy, but I don't know. I just don't know if this one's for me. To be honest, I like all the bullshit going on that has nothing to do with the piranhas more than I actually like the piranha subplot.
And I don't think that that's an odd take or
I think
a problematic take at all.
What's his name having to, deal with Jerry O'Connor's bullshit and taking them around, and his like wannabe girlfriend is there. Wannabe as in he wants her to be, but
I think she's down to be.
She's down too. Like I kind of enjoyed all that bullshit and drama, and just Jerry O'Connor as a character. That like the piranhas just felt like they got in the way. O'Connell. I keep saying O'Connor.
I know
O'Connell. The piranhas just got in the way for me. Yeah. Until it gets to that scene where they like eat all of those people at once.
That scene is so
kind
funny.
Of rules.
Yeah, that scene rules. Let's be real. I watched this movie the first time with my dad.
Great pick.
Fun family movie night.
That's such a great pick from Carlo.
It's so really classically Carlo. For anyone who's ever met that man, it like is incredibly, incredibly on brand.
The only other thing would be like him falling asleep halfway through.
I'm pretty sure that happened also. Like,
you missed the best part if you fall asleep halfway through.
I'm sure he got through most of the boobs and then was like, and I'm out.
I just mean like all the murders.
No, I know that, but I'm sure that wasn't his priority.
Fair enough.
He put this on with his teenage daughter.
Yeah,
Yikes.
Carlo's a mess. I watched plenty of weird stuff with my parents, though, so it's not just a Carlo
I watched
thing.
Animal House with my mom.
I watched a Black Swan with my mom.
Animal House.
I watched Black Swan with my dad.
I love watching oral sex scenes with my parents.
Yeah, it was just a dream in that movie, though.
Yeah, but you still watch it.
True.
Still solid.
That movie's like considered, like high art, though. So
yes, it is. So at least I saw high art. One time with my high school boyfriend, we put on We're the Millers, and then I promptly fell asleep. So my high school boyfriend and my mom watched We're the Millers together on my sofa with me.
It's a great movie.
Between them. Yeah. So they had to deal with Catherine, what's her name? Han, talking about tampons. I'm sure they loved it. Well, I really like this movie, but I also like grew up watching a lot of Corning Shark movies, so like this is so right up my alley. Like if I'm gonna watch trash, I love this trash. And I actually like hid while watching this.
Where'd you hide from?
When the girl's hair was in the propeller.
That was a good.
That one was rough. Yeah.
That one was so gross. The rest of it, I'm like, I've seen this before. I don't care. It's fine. That one like fucks me up, but it also reminds me of like a story that my tech ed like wood shop teacher told us about one of his students early in his career getting her hair stuck in a machine and like the way.
I feel like every shop teacher has that exact story of either a tie or a long hair or both. But I did like the instant karma of the guy that like pulled her face off, immediately just dying. So
yes,
it was all for nothing.
I know it was very funny and deserved. But yeah, did you guys have any hides? Did y'all find this scary?
My hides where I was just like, can we put this on 1.5 times speed so I can get through it?
That's
I didn't hide, but I did scream in the last 3 seconds of this movie.
Oh, classic.
They're not, these are just the babies. And then, yeah. So that was my one, like, oh my God.
I love that scene so much. It's so fucking funny. I definitely screamed the first time I saw it, but now, obviously, I've seen it enough that I'm like,
what's
all right,
coming. Yeah.
I'm ready. So...
It was giving Friday the 13th, honestly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Kinda was.
This movie definitely, you can see it has lots of inspirations around
for sure.
the horror worlds. And I do love that for it. I think it's like it's not taking it so seriously. So when it does that, I think it's like a fun parody and not like, oh, you copycat.
It was more of an homage.
For sure. Matt, you want to do our 15
Let's
second
do 15
summaries,
second
huh?
summaries. I got it. I got them up.
Okay.
All right. Hannah, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay, ready? Go.
Bunch of piranhas start killing people on spring break, and there's also filming a porn at the same time, and those people also get eaten by piranhas.
Pretty good. Anna, are you ready?
Sure.
All right, do it. Go.
The world's hottest fish food.
That was so good.
Ooh, that's pretty good. I don't know if I want to
great.
go after that. Okay, I got one. Can I just get like a Boogie Nights spiritual sequel with Jerry O'Connell as like the Burt Reynolds character?
I love that.
That's my... I do not want a sequel to Boogie Nights. However, I really like the idea of following around sleazy pornographer
Jerry
O'Connell. Maybe set in like the 70s. We'll go like... Oh, that would be Boogie Nights. I was thinking like Nice Guys route.
I love Jerry O'Connell, and it really stems from Kangaroo Jack, which I had the unfortunate privilege of seeing in theaters, and it's a bad movie, but it's the same realm of bad
Is
movie
it actually
as
a bad
this.
movie, or was it just marketed terribly?
Well, it's marketed horribly, but also, like, it is not a good movie, but it's the same not a good movie as this, which is still a good movie.
All I remember is at the end, the guy's like, have you ever killed somebody before? And his buddy's like, don't answer that. And he goes, no. And he goes, what do you do for a living? He's like, really don't answer that. And he goes, I'm a hairdresser. And then cocks the shotgun. And I was like, all right, this is a sick movie. Even as a child, I knew.
I don't think I ever saw it, but I did have a DVD of some other movie where it was one of like the very long trailer things. So I saw the trailer for it many a time, but have never actually seen the film.
Guess what Kangaroo Jack has on Rotten Tomatoes?
25%.
Anna?
35. I don't know.
9%.
Oh, no.
But is that Michael Shannon who's in it?
Yeah, Michael Shannon.
Well, it's because they marketed it as a kids movie with a talking kangaroo. The whole entire talking kangaroo scene happened in a dream. The guy was having he was like knocked out. Jerry O'Connell.
Oh my god, really?
That's all it was. Yeah. The kangaroo didn't talk.
I did not know that. I totally thought the kangaroo talked the whole time.
No. He talks in one scene where he's having an hallucination. The kangaroo's just there because they put a jacket on it and he had money in it.
Yeah. Money in the jacket. Okay, I do think I did that actually.
That's all.
And then they're just trying to hunt down the kangaroo to get their money back. Yeah. So they don't get murdered.
There was nothing about the talking kangaroo would have been done, but then for some reason they decided to market it that way. Really
and that scene is
moment.
Funny in the context of the movie.
Why did Hollywood or whoever marketed decide to do that? To just lie to the audience entirely about a movie that was not worth lying about?
Why the fuck would you do that to my man, Jerry O'Connell, and my man, Michael Shannon, and my man, Christopher Walken?
That's crazy.
Who dare?
I'll ask another question. I'm just so sad we don't have mid-budget movies anymore, because this is the epitome of mid-budget movie in my mind. Kangaroo Jack. Even Piranha 3D is probably considered a mid-budget. And that just doesn't exist, really.
I feel like it's just been taken over by any sort of streaming original. It's just the new.
It is
the nearly as fun.
Yeah, they just pump shit out though, and don't actually
I know.
Get real creators.
While we're on the topic,
real auteurs.
While we're on the topic of Rotten Tomatoes, though, guess what Piranha 3D has?
97.
45%.
75.
Whoa, what the hell?
Wow.
I agree. I love this movie. Also,
what'd you get it? I guess we'll get to ratings, but
yeah. I'm gonna give it an unreasonable score.
Well, we did our 15-second summary. Let me do the full plot description really quick, which I have ready to go. And I feel like it's important that I read this one live, like I always do.
Yeah.
So let me wish me luck.
The first sentence of your summary is so funny. Yeah, it just is out of nowhere. This
one that how I always use Wikipedia to rewrite them. It was 2 pages, and I was how can Piranha 3D be a 2-page plot description? So we got it down to page, basically.
And there's some of this that I'm why wouldn't you just change that to
because characters come back up later and they use the names. It's just a lot of work sometimes.
Okay, well go ahead.
Okay, so beginning here. So Matt is eaten by a bunch of piranhas while fishing after an earthquake, and then as spring break begins, college students Jake Forrester. Hold up. Don't interrupt me.
Sentence
Don't interrupt me, all right? As spring break begins, college student Jake Forrester reunites with his old crush Kelly. Jake meets Derek Jones, a sleazy pornographer, as well as Danny, one of his actresses. Derek convinces Jake to show him good spots on the lake for filming pornographic movies. Jake's mother, Sheriff Julie Forrester, searches for Matt with Deputy Fallon. They find his mutilated corpse and contemplate closing the lake, but this is complicated by thousands of partying college students on spring break. Jake's siblings, Zane and Laura, take a canoe to go fishing on a small sandbar island and become stranded in the middle of the lake. Jake runs into Kelly, who accepts Derek's invitation to board his boat and meet Derek's other actress, Crystal, and his cameraman, Andrew. Julie takes a team of seismologist divers, weird combination, Novak, Sam, to the Fisher. Novak speculates that the rift leads to a buried prehistoric lake. Paula and Sam scuba dive to the bottom and discover a big cavern filled with large piranha egg stalks. Both are eaten by the piranhas before they can alert the others. Novak and Julie find Paula's corpse and pull it onto the boat, capturing a lone piranha, which they take to Carl Goodman, a retired marine biologist. He explains that the piranha is a super aggressive prehistoric species previously believed to have been extinct for over 2 million years. Julie, Novak, Fallon, and Deputy Taylor Roberts try to evacuate the lake, but their warnings are ignored. The piranhas begin to attack the tourists, turning the party into a bloodbath. Almost everybody at the lake is either grievously wounded or killed by the piranhas. Meanwhile, Jake spots Laura and Zane on the island and forces Derek to rescue them. Derek accidentally crashes the boat into some submerged rocks in the process. Kelly is trapped in the gully while Derek, Crystal, and Andrew fall overboard. Andrew escapes to the shore, but Crystal is devoured, and Derek is badly wounded and bleeds out. Julie and Novak reach Jake on a speedboat and attach a rope to his boat. Julie, Danny, Laura, and Zane start crossing the rope, but the piranhas latch onto Danny's hair, causing her to fall in the water where she's ripped apart. The others make it across safely, but the rope comes loose. Jake ties the line to himself and goes to save Kelly, using Derek's corpse to distract the piranhas. He ties her to him and lights a flare after releasing the gas from the stored propane tanks. Novak speeds the boat away just as the piranhas surround Jake and Kelly. They are dragged to safety as the propane tanks explode, killing most of the piranhas. A terrified Goodman calls Julie, who tells him that they seem to have killed most of the piranhas. Goodman tells her that the reproductive glands in the piranhas the piranha they had tamed was not mature. The piranhas that they have killed were merely juveniles. As Novak wonders aloud where the adult piranhas are, a human-sized adult piranha leaps out of the water and devours him. And that is a masterpiece.
All right, horror fans, let's be real for a second. You ever watch a horror movie and think, if I were in that situation, I'd totally survive?
Okay, but would you? Like, what's your wisdom stat? What's your dexterity? Because if you've never rolled initiative against a shadow demon in a cursed cathedral, then I've got a podcast you need to check out.
It's called Table Talk Friday, and it's the Dungeons & Dragons podcast that makes you feel like you're in a horror movie. With dice. It's hosted by 3 friends, Andrew, Seth, and Zach, who are basically horror movie nerds with swords.
They walk you through how to build unforgettable characters, haunted storylines, and terrifying villains, just like the ones we talk about every week. But instead of watching from your couch, you're part of the story.
So if your idea of self-care is slaying demons and bantering with your besties while trying not to die horribly in a magical swamp, this podcast is for you.
Search Table Talk Friday wherever you get your podcasts and start your campaign. Trust us, your friend group needs this.
Because what's scarier than a horror movie?
A badly planned D&D session.
Christopher Lloyd's delivery at the end, they're the babies!
Yeah.
Like, he's just so startled and old man about it. It's so good.
Also, I love that he specified they don't have like a fully grown genitals or whatever it was. It was like very focused on the fact that it was their reproductive organs that were not fully
I think
grown.
he literally says they have underdeveloped
reproductive glands or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Anyway. So reading that summary gave me at least 2 questions. Number 1, I thought he was 17. You said he's in college?
Oh, I don't know.
I guess 17-year-olds can be in college. I just I don't know. I was confused by his age the entire time. Also, just a moment that I remembered from the beginning. His mom is like really okay with walking in on him watching porn twice in a row. That was just a weird moment, I thought.
I feel like when you have a teenager
or college student,
you're just like, all right, that's par for the course. I don't want to see it, but you know it's happening. So I guess she's a cool mom.
I guess I wouldn't want like a different reaction necessarily. It's just very funny that it happened twice in a row. Also, the whole thing of like him getting taken by Jerry O'Connell like along for their ride is because he is a local who can like take him to a nice secret spot, and they drive like way far away on the lake. But does it look different than any other part on the lake? Could they not just have gone around the corner? Like, I guess for the plot, but
no, they totally
right?
could have. Yeah, I don't think they needed to go quite as far out to get those views and lack of people around, especially like. They needed to be back in time for the wet t-shirt contest, guys.
Yeah, right. They were on a tight turnaround.
But, it's okay. It happens to the best of us. We don't all plan well, okay?
That's true.
It is crazy, though, like, how stunning the filming location is. Because, like, they actually filmed on site in Arizona. Yeah. Like, this movie could have totally not bothered to do that.
The movie looks good. That's like another
really good looking
movie. The whole movie is
Mm-hmm.
filmed well. I think it helps when you are shooting on location in Arizona. And that's like something that it has going for it. It's kind of annoying that they kind of, I think, ruined some of it with, really shoddy Piranha CGI and 3D effects.
It's the fucking Piranha CGI.
It looks so bad.
Or the all red scenes underwater that look so bad. But, like, when they're not doing that, I do think the death sequences look good.
Yeah,
and, like, the practicals are good.
A lot of bloody skeletons with their eyes still intact,
True.
They use so many gallons of fake blood for this. I feel like I saw that they had over 10,000 gallons of fake blood used on the production of this movie. And I'm like, yeah, those scenes look great until you go underwater and then you just have the whole screen red for some reason.
They need to go by the Jaws rule, and it's like, you can't show it. You can't, you have to let them feel it more. And I think had they just
this movie's all about showing it, though.
It's all about showing it in every example. I just think like having the water be bloody and having like bubbles and, thrashing water is way scarier than like seeing someone get devoured underwater. Like I'm much more freaked out over if someone was in the water and all of a sudden they're just like getting ripped apart, but you're not exactly seeing. It's just that rapid and fast.
Yeah, I agree. And the scenes where they commit to doing that are the ones that are way better.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like some of the scenes like that look great. Some look fucking dumb. Some of the wounds look really great. Some of them look fucking dumb. And it's very inconsistent, which is odd, but the scenes that look good look so good. And I think the writing in this, honestly, for like how stupid this movie is, and it knows it's stupid, the writing is really good in my opinion.
Good. It's a stretch.
It could have been so much worse though. And especially like there were good actors. So like their delivery was somewhat believable as opposed to like, you could tell they're just like B-list actors reading a script, like.
I think in the context
it could have
of what
been
this
way worse.
Movie is, it's good. I'm not saying it's a 5-star movie. I'm not saying this is like fucking Her's script or Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. No. But like for a B movie, it's solid.
The whole plot, I said before, of our main character, whatever his name was, I already forgot, Jake, with Jerry O'Connell and like the girlfriend.
That's what I mean. Like that's so smart.
Everything, that's great. I just think everything around it that actually moves the story forward kind of sucks. Like Mom's plot sucks. The seismologist plot is boring. The kid stuck on the island.
I think the kid stuck on the island is honestly a really smart plot point because that's how they end up meeting up and like actually having tension later.
Sure.
They also have my favorite line,
which
was, "I should have brought my trombone."
Agreed. Beautiful. I also liked the kids just like beefing with each other a little bit. Like, what the fuck? The girl is like, "See, this is your fault for making me go out on the boat," and Jake said not to, and I'm like, "Yeah, fight." I think that honestly that as much as like I don't super care about the kids, I think that was a smart choice. I think everything outside the cops and the like actually solving the mystery of what is happening part is good, but also you kind of need that to explain anything.
We could just have deadly piranhas. I don't know.
Like they came from
they came from an earthquake.
Yeah, and like how the fuck would we know that if we
don't fish during an earthquake? That's the theme of this movie.
I don't think he knew that he was fishing during an earthquake. It was very sudden.
Well, actually, he littered. That was what I took away.
That's what happens when you litter. You cause earthquakes and then get devoured by piranhas. Save the planet, people.
Anti-littering propaganda.
That's what this whole movie was made for.
Or is it pro-littering? Because if I litter, then the piranhas will die and eat the junk.
No.
So I should litter.
No, that's definitely not what it's saying. Because everyone dies based off the piranhas being back in action.
Mm.
And it gets worse after the movie, obviously, because these, again, are the babies.
Yeah, we need a sequel where like it's basically an apocalypse because of the piranhas. They learn to walk. or something.
No.
You know?
Oh my God, you're never going to believe this, Matt.
Wait, does that happen in the sequel?
So in the second one, it's like less about it's not they're not any bigger than they are in the first one. So I guess there's just more babies. But they Christopher Lloyd has like another cameo in it, but he talks about how he was like renowned for this piranha stuff, but he got ostracized from the like quote unquote scientific community because his next thing was about how they were going to evolve and learn how to walk. And then like the very last thing, like the same thing with Adam Scott getting eaten in this one, the last thing is that they like it happens in a water park, so they drain all the pools and everything as people are dying, and then this little kid goes up with a camcorder and is like recording one of the piranhas, and it comes and like like hops up the empty pool and bites his head off.
That's incredible.
But anyway, yeah, so that's the end of the second one. So way to call it, Matt.
That's fantastic. Now give me the third one. I want Plan to the Piranhas.
Well, the second one did so bad, we really don't need more.
It also was apparently like a different director and everything. So
yeah, something was probably straight to. Did it even come out in theaters? Something
no,
was
it was definitely
DVD.
a straight to DVD or POV.
Well,
VOD, I mean, not POV.
What else we got? I don't have that many nice things to say about this other than Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell is so fucking funny.
They messed up killing him off.
Speaking of Jerry O'Connell, do we find any of the actors being really famous people in this movie distracting? Like, I don't find Jerry O'Connell distracting at all, but I kind of find Adam Scott distracting. But I always kind of find him distracting.
I think that's with like kind of hindsight, because when this was made, like, I don't think he was nearly as famous as he is now, you know, so.
No. Yeah, I definitely think it's hindsight, and like, I've just seen so many things with him that I find him like fairly distracting in a lot of things, especially when he's not doing much of a character. Like in Step Brothers, that's not distracting. That is iconic, you know. Ben Wyatt, that is just like Adam Scott to me. But then other things like this, I'm like, shut the fuck up.
We got to watch Severance, see what he's like in that. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, my bad.
I've only seen season 1. So far, so good.
I heard it's great. Hannah won't watch it with me because she hates me.
That's not at all what happened. You're just too busy for me to commit to.
I'm down to watch.
I think the only person that I found like somewhat distracting was Christopher Lloyd, but because he's just like an eccentric scientist who happens to be an expert in piranhas, it does feel right for him. It's just like I feel like I'm watching Back to the Future, you know. Yeah,
I agree. I feel like it's on brand for what his career has looked like, or like what I know of his career.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. Matt.
Yes.
You really not have anything else good to say?
No, I really don't. I'm sorry. It's fine. I don't know. Well, you know what? I'll talk about another movie that we just watched.
That's not relevant.
We just watched this movie called Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Shut the fuck up. I really don't want to talk. Why are you bringing this up?
I just feel like when I'm looking for something like goofy in a movie, that is what I want. Where this feels a little less sincere to me. And I like the sincerity of the ridiculousness of Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. Those are my feelings.
That's fine. You're allowed to.
Everyone should go watch that movie. It's fantastic. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
I gave it a 2 out of 5, and that was generous.
Anna, it's an unbelievable movie. Don't watch the first one. Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. It's about breakdancing.
Yeah, I have heard of this because of the Electric Boogaloo thing. Actually, so I have a spreadsheet for the jobs I've been applying to. Shout out listeners if anybody wants to give me a job. That'd be sick. But I have a spreadsheet. And I have like the first thing that I did, and then I got pretty far into an interview process, so I stopped applying. And then I didn't get that job, so I made another one. And my second one is called V2 Electric Boogaloo.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. Well, you should see the movie that this came from, because I was exhausted after watching this movie. Hannah's so mad. Hannah fell asleep at the end, but exhausted in a good way.
I let myself fall asleep at
the
end
adrenaline
because I was
pumping.
like, I can't do this anymore.
It was amazing.
There's too much break dancing for me.
No such thing.
Matt, there is such a thing, and a whole hour and a half of break dancing with the worst acting I've ever seen.
Incredible movie.
Is too much. At least the acting in this is like fun.
Would you say it broke you, Hannah?
Yeah.
They were breaking too hard.
They were breaking so hard. This movie broke me down and built me back up. There were multiple people we watched it with that said their brain chemistry was changed after watching it. Everyone was like, "This is fantastic." Our
friend group is stupid.
It was so good. I highly recommend everyone watch Breakin' 2.
All right, but Piranha though.
Anyway,
Ice-T was in it.
Anna, do you have anything else to compliment this movie, or should we move into what is so bad?
I was looking back through, I was live texting Hannah while I was watching it. I had a couple moments that I liked. Number one, at the like big spring break thing, there were protesters with a sign that literally just said "Read the Bible," which I thought was hilarious. There was also the girl in the inner tube, and the piranhas went straight for the ass, which I thought was very funny. The piranha coming out of the girl's face, I thought was actually really fucking cool.
That was nuts.
And then, yeah, that was crazy. And then the other two are obviously like the what are they called? Like the inserts for the woman's fake breasts after she like gets murdered. The one like other porn star actress, just like floating up in the wreckage after she gets eaten. And then Jerry O'Connell, obviously the penis, and his last words being just wet t-shirts, wet t-shirts. Incredible. Anyway, those were my notes.
Those are all great notes. I do think the fake boobs and the penis were important notes, very noticeable or noteworthy scenes in the film. Since you brought up the massive like spring break scenes, when they get on the stage, because like some of them
I
can't
called
get to
that.
shore,
Not that was like impressive, but I did call that it was going to fall over.
I know.
It was like the Titanic.
Low key, I do love that, and I do think it's actually like a decent moment of tension for this.
Oh, it totally is. Yeah.
There are like definitely moments that are good.
Do we think ACAB applies to the mom in this movie?
It's a hard one.
You know what? Yeah. But
I kind of feel like
but it doesn't. It doesn't apply to Chief Brody in Jaws, though.
It also doesn't apply to Ving Rhames because he's Ving Rhames.
I was going to ask about Ving Rhames and the motor.
Ving Rhames is a goddamn hero. Okay, we will not slander him.
And he ain't afraid of no bitch ass water, as we learned in the second one.
It's true. Jot that down.
Also, they kept on like just bringing out new deputies. Like they were really just the two that we knew, and then every time one would get eaten, they'd be like, "Oh my god, no!" I'd be like, I don't know who. Have we seen this person before? I don't know.
That's a good bit.
Yeah,
they did
it like 3 times.
The only police death that bothered me in the slightest was Ving Rhames, but that's only because it's Ving Rhames. If it were any other person in that cast, like in that role, I wouldn't care. But they really are operating.
He doesn't die.
I know that's something else, but you know, they really did know what they were doing casting the Ving Rhames.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Matt. Can you muster up any other compliments, or are we going to shit on this movie now?
I think I don't have too much shit on it. I do want to talk about some interesting theme stuff. But like I said, what I liked.
What do you dislike?
What do I dislike?
Can you articulate it at all, or are you just like, it's dumb?
No, it's not that it's dumb, because it's like setting out to be dumb. I find, as I already said before, that the plot outside of Jake's to be pretty boring, and the Piranha plot itself to be kind of uninteresting, which is like a shame, because this movie's called Piranha 3D. Mm-hmm. I find that it does kind of go back and forth between like sincere and not sincere. Like it's clearly influenced by a lot of like campy and schlocky work, but I don't know if it entirely understands why those things were successful. And I think like fails to emulate them in comparison to something like Cabin in the Woods, which is also kind of supposed to be schlocky. It's just like a movie that's not entirely for me, I would say, and really don't think it would ever have been for me.
No.
So.
And oddly, Breaking 2 Electric
Boogaloo was built for me, apparently.
That's like a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it was made for him.
I gave it a 4
that's more than double.
Yeah. I don't care what Rotten Tomatoes has to say. Only 1.4 thousand people have even written reviews for that movie. Why did I say 1.4? 1,400 people have written reviews for that movie on Letterboxd. And
I did like one of them that said, I didn't know if this was possible, but I think there are too many boobs. It's like, wow, hot take.
Too many fake boobs.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, yeah, I don't know. But my compliments were I think it looks good, and I think there's some fun set pieces. Especially like a woman parasailing with her boobs out that then gets dropped in water and her bottom half is eaten. And then she's looking up. That's great.
I like that they
I love that.
pulled up her top half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also just took them so fucking long because, which is also crazy. Like the men weren't watching this big boobed lady. Like, come on, what the fuck?
I do thematically want to know what this movie is saying about sex work and what it's saying
Girls Gone
about like,
Wild.
pornography. Yeah, obviously there's like some criticism of that, but kind of everybody dies, right? Like everyone who is, it's kind of going the classic, I don't want to say classic slasher route because really only Friday the 13th was the one that started this, but the whole like if you have sex, you will die. And Scream talks about it. Don't ever have sex. And it's like everyone in this movie, if you do that, they get killed. But like, what is that actually saying? They kind of, I feel like this movie's kind of not nice to sex workers.
Yeah, I guess
the one almost makes it.
The one almost makes it, and then it's like her hair that gets her at the end. I don't know. It's a little weird. But also Jerry O'Connell gets his. So
well, he's the one that's trying. Like, I mean, he's the ultimate bad
for sure
of this sex work subplot because he's very much like fetishizing everything.
100%.
But like, I don't know. I don't think this movie
actually he's only bad until he tries to get force an underage girl basically or a young woman into it. Like everything else about it's fine. You're allowed to go make porn on the lake if you want.
That's the thing. Like I really don't.
There's no law that says you can't.
I really don't know if this movie is critical about anything. I don't think this movie's trying to do or say anything. I know you're saying like it is an interesting choice and like what is that maybe?
I'm only bringing it up because I think this is my example of like how it's taking its cues from other slasher types and trying to replicate, but it's in a world that's one, I don't think it fully understands what those movies were doing, and two, it just like kind of comes across not great to me. But I'm also just looking for something to talk about because it's also weirdly like I don't know. It like kind of wants to be both like sex positive and sex negative at the same time.
Yeah. What do you think, Anna?
I mean, one thing that I wanted to criticize was their body shots. So poorly done.
I agree. They did them out of order.
No, well, not only did they did them out of order. I mean, I guess the whole concept of a body shot is stupid because you're drinking out of a belly button, which has the capacity of a literal thimble. But yeah, that part was wild to me. Also, like, in the underwater scene between the two ladies, were they literal mermaids? They didn't breathe the whole time.
It was impressive. I just kept thinking about the nice guys during that scene.
That scene.
Oh my god, love that.
You were in the pool.
I had to go question the mermaids.
I had to question mermaids.
That scene is pretty crazy. What a work of art.
I like that scene. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that scene.
The music.
But that's kind of my point is like those few scenes feel very sex positive, and like the porn stars are like, oh, nice. They're I'm trying to say they're employed, but like they're doing good work.
Have a job.
And like people see it that way, and it's like portrayed that way. But then it's also like, ooh, you guys are sex workers. Let's eat them and have their fake breasts left behind. And
I think
it's just like a little
it's
weird.
only critical of fake boobs.
Yeah, for real.
That's the only
But it also
criticism.
made cash money off of fake boobs, all right?
It's true. Who's to say what it actually wants?
You know, I'm just being weirdly critical of this because I think it's fun to try
also,
to
like, it
squeeze
wasn't
something out of
just
it.
the sex workers like themselves. Like, they also, all the girls in the wet t-shirt contest and like the
Right.
radio guy that was announcing the whole thing. Like, they had a chance to save themselves if they had listened to the cops, but they just turned their music up and went back to dancing around.
Don't go to spring break. Don't party or you're going to get ate. You know?
I guess this movie is actually, what it's actually saying is you should listen to authority.
Even that's even worse.
Pro-cop propaganda.
This is yeah. Who knew Piranha 3D is propaganda?
Wow.
They actually, I mean, when you give Ving Rhames a cop a motor to saw up piranhas, that is inherent. That's propaganda. That's propaganda right there.
He was shooting them out of the air with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Which was, I guess, impressive, although also ultimately, but I was going to say ultimately pretty ineffective, right? Like there were hundreds of piranha and he was taking out like one per shot. My guy, you're not, like, this is not the best use of your time.
I truly don't know what he thought he was going to accomplish there. I just think he wanted to feel like he was helping. So maybe the movie's saying police are ineffective.
You know, it's kind of dumb. All you need is one explosion underwater and it would kill all the piranhas from just the pressure change. Because
oh my god, the taser.
The taser, exactly.
Was no one else in the water at that point? Like, I just
for the greater good, take them out.
I guess I'd maybe rather get electrocuted than eaten by piranhas.
Speaking
I
of
guess.
Jake and Kelly, is that her name? They're dead.
Mhm.
For sure. That explosion, the water pressure change would have just crushed them.
Also,
they're definitely dead. They were also underwater for a very long time.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like we try not to cinema sins or. And
This,
like,
if we're gonna do
talk
it, this
about
is the
shit
movie
like
to do
that.
it for because it's funny.
Yeah, what the actual fuck? The piranhas would have come back. They were done, Jerry, in like 2 seconds. Jerry
he was half a man when he went in the water.
Yeah, they didn't need that much time with Jerry. They immediately would have been like, nope, let's go back to the other ones. And then they were there. They were serving themselves up on a platter at that point. And yet.
I will say that actress who played Kelly, she was in a British show that was originally called Scrotal Recall, which loved that name. They did unfortunately rename it to Lovesick, but it was a cute show, at least for the season that I watched. So I guess shout out to that show.
I also liked Kelly, and it's a shame she wasn't in more stuff. I looked into it.
So extremely pretty.
Yeah,
she's
like
beautiful,
unreal.
like so unique looking.
Yeah,
she hasn't really. She was in a Twin Peaks season 3.
Oh shit!
As like a small role.
Her and the nicer foreign actress that we actually meet at all.
Yeah,
they're both very pretty.
Yeah, she was so nice, and then I was like really thinking she was going to make it, and
That's
instead Adam Scott just like they let the rope be so loose. Like I don't. When it became time for the cop to get almost eaten, he moved the thing forward, but like could have done that before.
Yeah, Adam Scott said, "Boo, sex worker."
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
Yeah,
God.
It's like she's so nice. We're going to portray the sex worker as nice and be like, you guys are bad for thinking sex workers aren't nice, but also we're going to kill her. And it's going to be she's going to get pulled down by her hair because women are stupid and have long hair.
It's true.
Yeah,
Why do we have hair?
Stupid women with your hair.
Everyone should shave everything and be like Frank and be pure.
Be pure. Yeah.
This movie contains multitudes. It's both pro-sex work, anti-sex work.
It's
pro-police. It's anti-police.
It's very layered and conflicting.
It's so nuts.
Such a. I'm going to lose my mind if I have to talk about this movie much longer.
Okay. Any scenes you want to highlight that we haven't already talked about? I feel like we talked about almost every scene in this goddamn movie already.
I gave you my scenes that I liked.
Yeah, I feel like we've kind of done the thing.
We've done the thing. I think this is your one-stop shop for talking about Piranha 3D. I think we've talked about everything.
We've covered it in depth.
We've covered it
down all the way down to where the piranhas came from. That deep.
Mm-hmm.
That's so deep, bro.
I know.
I'm excited for Piranha 3, though. As I said before, battle for the planet of piranhas.
Piranha Triple D.
Of the Piranha. Yeah, Piranha Triple D.
There we go.
All right. Should we rate this bitch?
Yeah, let's rate it.
All right.
I don't know mine yet, so you do yours first, Anna.
I think I should go last.
All right. Anna, do you want to rate it out of 10?
I can. Realistically, probably like a 4. Like, it's a fun time, but I'm probably not going to watch it again unless, like, somebody asks me to.
That is exactly what I'm giving it as well, is a 4 out of 10. Yeah. Sorry, Hannah.
I was going to give it like a 6.
Only a 6?
Maybe a 6.5.
She was totally going to give it an 8 before we.
No, I was never going to give it an 8. Right after watching it, I was
wild.
Like, wow, a 7. And then I was like, this is not a 7.
Actually, maybe not.
I feel like a strong 6 is appropriate for me. I love this movie.
Let's do the Matt Dalton scale.
The Matt Dalton scale of -5 to +5. I'm giving it a 4. I think
a +4.
Yeah, I think I really should watch this movie. I don't think it's a good movie. But I think if you're like gonna smoke some weed or like have some drinks,
there's so many
watching your movie, and you're like doing some work on your computer, and you're like, I need something on for sound. This is the perfect movie for you, bro.
I think it's a good movie to like watch in a marathon of silly movies. Like, yeah. I liked watching it with the second one. Like, neither of them were good. The second one was significantly worse. But, like, I feel like there's a vibe for a day like that where you're like, I'm just going to watch not good movies and have a good time. And this is one of those.
I'm going to counter it, and I'm going to give it a -4.
That's crazy.
Wow. No interest in watching it again. And this is because of Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. Because if I want to smoke some weed and get silly and have some drinks, I'd watch that. I didn't even drink anything last night, and I felt like I was under the influence watching Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. So I'm just saying.
I'm so sick of hearing about this goddamn movie, and we only watched it yesterday.
I know. It was a life-changing experience. Not just for you.
The
not just for me.
suffering will be endless for me. Anna, where would you put it on the -5 to +5 scale? How much would you recommend this to others?
I'd give it like a 1. Like, I wouldn't not recommend it.
Oh.
But again, I like wouldn't. It would would have to be like, hey, like I have never seen it, or like I am in the mood for like watching a bunch of people's asses getting eaten by fish, and I'd be like, all right, yeah. But it's not like I'm gonna sit down by myself and be like, you know what, I'm gonna watch tonight, and like in the bathtub or whatever, or like by myself. Willingly.
Yeah.
So.
I guess my follow-up question would be to that, where would you put Twilight on the scale then?
I mean, gotta be a 5.
All right. Then if Twilight's a 5...
You have to have seen Twilight.
Yeah. Then I don't feel bad rating Piranha high, because I think they're the same level of trash.
I feel like it's not as much of a cultural moment, though.
It's not as much of a cultural moment, though. Maybe you're convincing me to move it down to a 3. I feel like a +3 is as high as probably appropriate to go.
Also, think about like just from a reference point of view, like a lot of things reference Twilight. Like you're gonna get a lot more stuff if you've seen it, but like this one is kind of exists in its own world.
This movie has no lasting power. There's nothing in it that is like memorable to me.
Calm down.
Other than Jerry.
So memorable.
Why is Jerry not in more stuff?
Burps up a penis. A fish burps up a penis. That's memorable, Matt.
Yeah, that's memorable. Why is Jerry... Yeah, but then 21 Jump Street did it where they shot off my dick. Like, that's
true.
Way funnier. All I'm saying is, like, why is Jerry O'Connell not in more stuff?
Okay, but...
That's all I want to know.
That's reasonable.
That's a really important
It's Always
takeaway.
Sunny has to have a role for him. Like,
oh my god.
Pull him in
He
there.
could be this. He could play this role. It's Always Sunny.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my god. Jerry O'Connell's so fucking funny, but like... What the fuck is he in besides Stand By Me, Kangaroo Jack?
He's great in Stand By Me. He doesn't even look like himself.
Like,
I mean, that's just a great movie regardless, but...
Yeah.
He needs more recently, like as an adult.
He was in Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, how long
ago he's in
was
Scream
that
2.
bitch?
You love Scream 2.
Again, these are really old movies.
He's really silly in Scream 2.
Give him something fucking bananas to do in the year of our Lord 2025.
Well, he's voiced Superman a couple times. Voiced Martian Manhunter. Okay, that's a big deal.
I mean, Dean Cain was Superman, and he's now an ICE agent, so I don't know how much we want to associate with that.
Yeah, he's done some Superman voice acting for some like good stuff, so that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
All right, well, someone write a film for Jerry O'Connell.
Please, just a role anywhere.
That's our takeaway from this film, and I think that's a fair takeaway. I think,
and for that Kelly girl whose name we don't remember.
Yes, that's
employ
true.
her more.
Yes. David Lynch employed her, very small role, but
there you go.
All hail David Lynch, our Lord and Savior. May he rest in peace.
Power.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
All right. Well, I think we can close out now.
Yeah, I can't do this. I can't do it anymore. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm such a curmudgeon.
Watch more breakdancing videos.
I'm such a I just sent Anna the scene from Breaking where he dances on the ceiling. You need to watch it. That was the moment in the movie where I was like, "This is amazing." So,
I need you to film
your reaction,
like your reaction on Snapchat and share
of
it
you
with us.
watching Breaking 2.
We need to like
let you know.
Although without the buildup of like the dance battles earlier, I don't know if it hits as hard. But
the car dance battles.
The car dance battles
most
pretty
insane
insane
thing I've ever seen in my life.
And especially the
Maybe
song
that's
describing. I think you should if you can find it.
Yeah, watch the movie and tell me which one you thought.
You need to watch it with somebody. Better. I think solo it wouldn't work, but like watching it and talking over the whole thing will really help.
Yeah, talking over the
as long as you don't
movie.
Watch the movie, it's
no. You watch it. You need to talk about what's happening on screen as you watch because that's what we did. It was more like I thought that maybe I was asleep and I was dreaming while watching it. I was like, what is this real?
I'm sure after a long day of medical school, Keaton would love to watch Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo.
It really
I'll
is.
offer.
Yep, you should if you can find it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean? Didn't you just watch it yesterday?
Well, we watched it on Blu-ray. Hard copy.
Jason rented it from the library.
He got it was a triple feature of Breakin', Breakin' 2, honestly, and then one other movie.
Shout out libraries and shout out physical media. Way to go, guys.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. I got to be done here. So Anna, thank you for joining us. You can plug yourself. You said you need a job, so I
do need a job.
Tell us what you do, so maybe a listener can give you a job.
I work either in government affairs or sales operations. So hit me up. I'm a good employee. I promise. I was laid off. It wasn't my fault.
We're gonna put Anna's resume in the link below.
I'm gonna put my LinkedIn.
Yes, we'll put her LinkedIn. So if you would like to hire her, please reach out on Instagram and make sure you follow us there, and on TikTok maybe if you have to. We'll take inquiries via TikTok. So yeah. Cool.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Anna. Thank you for joining us. Okay. Well,
always a pleasure.
I've been Matt Hanna.
I've been Hannah.
This is Horror Hour with the Hannas
and Anna.
Ooh.
Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure.
Thank you for listening to Horror Hour with the Hannas. Make sure to listen to future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever else you can find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube, where we post episodes and shorts. You can follow us at Horror Hour with the Hannas on TikTok and Instagram, as well as at Horror Hour on Blue Sky for more content. If you like the podcast, please follow and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. Happy hauntings!